What's so this is just uh I guess you could say a recap of my year, a get to know me video, a little motivation video, just for me to yap, really. But yeah, so let's start off with last year. November was when I started becoming consistent in the markets. I started to really see money I've never seen before, which wasn't much. I mean, I was working construction jobs that whole year. One was for my mentor, and then I switched to a asphalt plant. And when I was working there, I became profitable. And when I became profitable, 2 months after being profitable, I quit. And it was not a mistake. I really felt like I was ready for it. And I mean, I was, because it paid off tremendously. That November, I did, I think, my first 4 or 5K month with trading. December, I did roughly about the same. And then that January, well, let's go back to December. That December, I did 4 or 5K, but I lost it all at the end. So the third week in December, I lost like 4 or something, which was like all of my profits for the whole month, and it only took one day. And a lot of you that are trading, or maybe work a long time to accomplish something, one mistake can ruin all of it, all the progress, everything. Well, January, of course, I found, well, let's go back to December, sorry. So the last day in December, which was the 31st, I stayed up, and it was like 12:07 or something. My notebook's somewhere in here that I have it written down. I think it's in my car. But I had just a feeling, a gut feeling, just to back test that whole day. So that's exactly what I did. And when I was back testing my mentor's model, I was looking at something, and it was just these group of candles that I kept noticing over and over again. So I was like, let me back test them. I back tested them, and I was like, they're doing the same rhythm every single time. So when I finally, like maybe 2 hours into back testing, I was like, oh my gosh, I have my first model, like my own personal model. And I was just way up. You gotta think, that past week I lost all my profits. I blew the account. And then January, I'm going in head first into a new strategy. Well, when I started that strategy in January, I did my first 10K month. It was like overnight, I felt like I did it. Like, I'm gonna be a millionaire or whatever. And then February, I did like 12, and then I stayed around there until, I would say, June. And then June, I did very well. I think it was very close. I think it was like 18K in 1 month. And then July, it was my record month. It was my best month ever, and it was $32,000. And I was winning every single trade. So you got to think where my head was at. Okay, September was a little slow. It went back down very close to 20. But you got to think, that was close to 6 figures by the middle part of, or a little bit after the middle part of the year, from the previous year going into this year. Well, you can just say 6 figures in a year, I guess you could say. I did take an investment in March. I'm not going to go into details with it, but it was doing well for a little bit, and then I lost a lot of money on it, around like 20 grand. And then going into September, like I said, I did a little bit less in July. and then I started falling off of my habits a little bit. Uh, I'm gonna be straight with this. Basically, the past year was me just being 1000% locked in, not doing anything. I stopped beating my meat. I was going to church every week, praying every day, cold showers every morning, just doing the I guess you could say A+ habits. And that July, actually, going into the end of it, I met, or yeah, I guess you could say I met this girl, and I was like, man, you know what? I'm gonna give it another try. I mean, I just did a crazy month. I'm doing very well in life for my age, but yeah, it was going well. And then, when you start getting, like, I don't know, these weird gut feelings, and how do I even explain this? I don't know why he's up, but yeah, I don't know, just feeling mixed signals, I guess you could say. And I started getting in my head and all this other stuff. And then before it was, I guess you could say, or it was too late, actually. So let's just get to the point. In October, I had my worst month I've ever had in trading ever, and it was roughly around like $36,000. I blew almost all of my accounts. Yeah, I was working on something very big, and it fell apart, like overnight fell apart, and it really crushed me. And then the next week after that was when I lost 4 out of, let's just say, 5 accounts. So I lost a lot of money there, and that was roughly around the 36K. And then I lost -20 on an investment the same month. And then I was getting the mixed signals and stuff, so everything kind of just, I was up here and then I went down here instantly, just like that. And I really think it was because I was going to make this really big purchase, and it was a very selfish purchase of me. And I want to say it was God that told me, like, hey, slow down. Like, that was him telling me to slow down. So I had to check myself and realize, like, how far I've came, and was like, no, I can't allow, like, another person to make me feel like this. So I was like, hey, respect to her. I mean, no hard feelings or anything. I just had to realign with myself and realize that, I've came a long ways, and I know, like, what I'm worth, I guess you could say. And I had to put that to the side and lock back in. November was me really just that was 2 months ago. That was really me just getting everything back, because once you find a strategy and once you know how the markets are working in a decent understanding, I guess you could say, I'm nowhere where I want to be, but yeah, once you have that strategy, you know the habits that you need to implement, and you just do it, then everything just comes right back. And I had to get close back with God again. I fell off my habits, and yeah, I just really had to check myself. And if I didn't check myself, I probably would have lost everything. But the one thing that I would say the best thing going into this year was I got a new perspective on life, because I've lost everything in my account multiple times. Money doesn't really mean much to me anymore. But I didn't think something so simple could get in my head. And it just, yeah, I just learned from it. And I think that was the last step that I needed before I really take off this year. And that's just my opinion. I really do believe so. But the perspective is, I went into this year being very selfish. I was very me, because it's kind of all I've ever had. So now going into this year with that big loss, it made me rethink the way I've been with money. I haven't done a bad job of like blowing it or anything. I'm not flashy, I think. But I would say I want to give back a lot this year. And I think everyone should give back more than what they're doing for themselves. I think that's a very great fulfillment that you can get. And yeah, and just get as close as possible to God, and just all I want to do is just see if what I can offer to people is how to become successful and how to get closer to God, and just, yeah, realize that there's a lot more to do with life. And no, I'm not a millionaire. Like I said, I've touched very small 6 figures. I just breached it. And yeah, you just have to, I guess you could say, yeah, I don't know. That's really all I got, other than there's a lot of people that are going to contradict the things that you do, going to tell you that you can't do something. And this is the motivational part. But you can do it. You can put your mind to anything that you want. Yes, I know eventually I will be a millionaire. But I'm not in, I want to say, anything outside of things that I can control on a daily basis anymore. I used to do a lot of dreaming and thinking about the past, thinking about the future, but there's only one thing that you need to be worried about, and it's the presence. And that's what you can control on a daily. And if you control everything correctly on the daily, then the future is going to reward you from doing it now, So all the people that try and like say little smart comments about what you're doing, but you look at their life and it's not what you want to live, then don't listen. There's nothing wrong with the way that they live. There's nothing wrong, and a lot of people have gotten this mixed up of me talking about 9 to 5s and stuff. There's nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. If that's what you want to do, do it. Anything in the world, you can go be a janitor and be the happiest person in the world, as long as you got God, So some people, I think, are just meant for different roles on earth, and my role, I just feel like, is supposed to be something on a just greater than what I can even imagine. And I think everybody should just go after that, and that's just finding your purpose. So yeah, but yeah, to end this, I just want to say, keep going, keep striving. There's only one true answer to life, and that's through God. So just stay true to Him and let Him guide you through everything, because without Him, we're nothing. So yeah, I hope y'all have a very blessed year, and you get to do all of the things that you put your mind to. So yeah, y'all have like I said, a blessed 25, and I'm sure I'll be posting more on YouTube more frequently because I'm off of social media now. So yeah, hold it down.